Audi says that in its revised form, this last-of-the-line version of their third-generation TT Coupe is a definitive expression of what this model line should be. It's certainly true that this car's now more desirable than it's ever been, and in this film, we're going to find out why.
The TT has always been a relatively undemanding car to drive quickly, particularly if you get yourself one with the Quattro four-wheel drive system that's standard on powerful versions like the TTS variant we're trying here. The TTS features some engineering changes in this revised form, with a slight reduction in power to 306 PS, but a 20 Nm increase in torque that drops the rest to 62 miles an hour sprint time to just 4.5 seconds. Elsewhere in the range, there's no longer a diesel option, and the previous entry-level 1.8-litre TFSI unit with 180 PS has been replaced by a 2-litre TFSI power plant with 197 PS that powers the new 40 TFSI entry-level derivative. Most TT buyers, though, opt for the mid-range 45 TFSI derivative, which uses this engine in an uprated 245 PS form and offers wide choice, manual automatic or automatic with Quattro four-wheel drive. At the top of the range, as before, there's the potent TTRS, which uses a 400 PS, 2.5-litre, 5-cylinder unit. Other engineering changes made to the revised version of this Mark III model include the installation of a 7-speed version of the brand's twin-clutch S-tronic auto transmission to replace the previous 6-speeder. It's mandatory on TTS and TTRS models. Plus, there's the ability of the Audi Drive Select driving mode system to now influence the way the four-wheel drive system works, a setup that these days uses a Haldex-style all-wheel drive setup. If your TT has the clever Audi Magnetic Ride adaptive damping system fitted, standard only on the TTS and TTRS, the Drive Select modes will affect ride quality too. Steering feel remains a little lacking, and we find the ride rather over-firm, but refinement's excellent and efficiency remains a key TT calling card. This TTS manages 35.3 mpg of WLTP rated economy and an NEDC rated 161 grams per kilometre of CO2. Audi's been careful to ensure that this model's iconic silhouette has remained essentially the same ever since we first saw it in 1999. And with the improved version of this third-generation design, all the usual TT model cues are present and correct. Things like the rounded wheel arches, curved windscreen pillars, bold shoulder line and sloping rear tailgate. Minor updates include this smarter three-dimensional version of the single-frame radiator grille, larger new vertical corner air inlets, revised alloy wheel designs and extra styling slashes below the tail lights at the rear. Inside, things are much as they were when this third-generation model first made its appearance back in 2014. Which means that you get a sleek, minimalist design that continues to set this car's interior apart. If you weren't familiar with it before, you might get in and initially wonder, well, what's missing? The wing-shaped dash is normal enough, but in its centre, the usual infotainment system screen and ventilation control panel are both missing. Ventilation controls have been relocated to the jet turbine-style air vents, and all the functions you'd normally find on a big tablet-style central display have been incorporated into the 12.3-inch TFT virtual cockpit screen that replaces conventional instrument gauges. You won't be expecting much from the rear seats, and you shouldn't. Once you're inside, it's massively cramped, to the point where these pews will be virtually unusable for adults, even on very short journeys. Let's finish with a look at the boot. Now, lift the tailgate and you'll find a two-part parcel shelf covering an unexpectedly large cargo area, something that's long been a selling point for TT owners. In this coupe model, it's 305 litres in size with the rear seats up. In the Roadster model, it's 280 litres. OK, the area provided is rather shallow, but it's accessed via a notably low loading lip, and what's on offer here is certainly big enough for 3 or 4 large bags. Some say the Audi TT won't be missed when this third-generation model eventually ends production. But we disagree. Even when the affordable coupe segment was full of volume-branded rivals, the TT stood out as something a little special and different. In this lightly revised form, the Mark III design still does. Ultimately, there's still nothing quite like a TT, and perhaps there never will be.